Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back, and as you can see and you can hear, I am at work, so that kind of puts a damper on this. Well, I got to put out videos as we can, and I'm bringing you today the new fusion that will start next week, Thursday. This is Razelvarg the Rabbit. Okay, and this guy is very interesting. I'm very intrigued. I think this is Raid's first and only champion that his abilities will go off his attack and his speed for damage. All right, and this guy, he is. You remember that old Zoom Zoom commercial? That little kid, and he just look at you and be like, Zoom Zoom, right? Going fast and shit. I think it was Volkswagen. This rabbit screams that. He just goes fast, and he goes fast. I mean, he just keeps going and going and going. I very much like his kit. It's very unique in the fact that it's his passive that really intrigues me, but we'll get into that here in a minute. I'm going to start off by saying I think this guy's going to be good in Doom Tower. He's going to be good in Fire Knight, even hard Fire Knight, okay? And he's going to be very good in Hydra. This guy is very much a Hydra champ. And it's kind of funny, I've been listening to other content creators talk about this guy, and when any content creator starts talking about a champion, like, oh yeah, this is a good Hydra champ. This is a good Hydra champ. I've played Magic for 30 years. Right, give or take, well, 25. I started when I was like, freaking 8. My brother Corey bought me my first starter deck. But anyways, I'm freaking losing my way here. But when Magic, whenever you see cards come out and you're like looking at a card, and you're like, what's a card? Is it good in standard? No. Modern? No, too slow. Is this good in limited? Yes. And then you're like, you know what it's good for? It's good for old EDH. It's good for Commander, baby. And that's just kind of what a lot of legendaries are feeling like nowadays, because Hydra is a very important part of the game, because you want the stone skin gear, you want the shards so you can get your ascensions and stuff, right? Or your awakenings, my bad, awakenings. It feels like the champion's like, is he good in arena? Is he good in regular clan boss? But this guy's real good for Hydra. You know what I mean? So it just kind of feels like it's the same comparison that we make in Magic when you're looking at a card and you're like, this card I think is too expensive, but it's really good in EDH. So that's just kind of my deal. But anyways, I'm sorry, digressing, 2.5 minutes into the video. Let's just kind of look at him here. His A1 is called Hopping Mad. He attacks 3 times, not at random, right? He attacks 3 times single target, and each hit will fill his turn meter by 5%. So he gets a 15% increase in his turn meter just from his A1. This does not state that it will not proc off counterattack, so that makes me think, will this proc off counterattack? And I think it might. We'll be doing some testing, because I think I am going to be going for this guy next week. He looks very cool. His A2 is Knight of the Rabbit, right? That's kind of a play on words too. I think it's supposed to be based on Knight of the Werewolf. And if you can see, he has a wolf or werewolf head on his shoulder. And if you remember, when we looked at Raid's Coming Soon in Raid, there was another white wolf fox looking thing, coyote, in their champion spotlight. She was white and she was female, and she had like red markings on her. So I wonder if this won't kind of play into that. It's going to be very interesting. But anyways, Knight of the Rabbit. Books to a 3 turn cooldown, books to a 100% chance. He will attack all enemies placing leech for 2 turns, and it will heal this champion by 10% of their max HP for each leech debuff placed by this skill. So depending on how his multipliers work, if he goes more off attack and less off his speed, or more off speed and less off attack, you could build this guy pretty tanky and make him very fast, and he'll still deal considerable amount of damage. And I'm really looking forward to looking at that. So it's a 100% chance to place leech, and then, he's going to heal himself by quite a bit. So if you have 4 Hydra heads out there, he's healing himself by 40% of his max HP when he places these leech debuffs. It's very, very cool. And he heals off the leech, right? So this guy really, at this point, you're looking at him like, okay, he wants to go fast, he wants to deal damage, and he has self-sustain built in. That's very interesting. I like that. Okay? Now let's look up his A3. Keep up if you can. This book's to a 3 turn cooldown. He'll attack all enemies again, so he's got 2 AoEs. He places increased speed and increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns before attacking. Now that's great. That wording's awesome. He self-buffs, right? So he's getting this 30% increased speed buff, which is effectively a 30% increased damage buff, right? because his damage is going to be based off speed and attack. Now, I hate to keep telling you this, you know, but we're hammering it home here that's what his speed's based on. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown, right? So he feels like he's a mix currently of Nekmothar and Lady Kimmy, because he's bringing a lot of the same buffs, right? And he's bringing a debuff that's pretty similar to Nekmothar. And then right here, his passive is built for speed. Each increased speed buff placed by him increases his speed by 5 up to 100. So if you're in Hydra, right, and you have your 6 dudes, and you increase everybody's speed with him, he gets a permanent increase to speed of 30 right off the bat, right? Because there's 6 guys. 6 times 5 is what, folks? That's right, it's 30. So I mean, bananas. And his speed aura is like 1% faster than the common speed aura of legendaries. He says he increases all ally speed in all battles by 20 instead of 19. So yeah, this guy wants to go fast. He's very interesting. I really do like him. I just want to say this. I've commented on a couple of things on this already on other videos. He seems like a flavor fail. Now I understand. I feel like Plarium's like, okay, they bitched about skinwalkers. We're just going to give them skinwalkers. Everything we make, skinwalker. Okay, that's fine. All right. It seems anything that isn't a lizard man and is an animal goes into the Skinwalkers faction. But I feel this could have been a real good flavor win if they would have made him the size of Little Miss Annie, right? I want to start seeing like smaller creatures. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I wanted this guy, seems like he should have been in the Sylvan Watchers. He could have been the rabbit that looks over the woods and he goes really fast. He's like their messenger. You know what I mean? That could have been a real cool flavor win there. And I also had one of my clanmates saying, you know what they could have done, or they can do, is they can make a turtle, right? And we'll put him in lizard men, and the slower he goes, the harder he hits. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. This video kind of went long-winded, but I think this guy is going to be great. I personally, man, I'm 99% going for this guy. It depends on how hard this is going to be, because folks, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but this is a traditional fusion. So you need to get the rares, you need to get the epics, and then fuse all them into Rabbit Man, okay? And I have some legendary books just waiting, so I'm looking to book a new legendary. He might be it. We'll see how it goes. How many books does he need? 4, 8, 12. Well, that's about standard for a legendary, okay? All right, everybody, I love you. I hope you're having a good day. God bless and goodbye.